a service of CNC Worldwide.
The Daily is a service of CNC News and Jib Jab Greetings. I'm Bud Lowell. Look for your full AccuWeather forecast right across the top of this and all your CNC local news pages. Eastman Kodak's year of bankruptcy is drawing to an end, and the company is said to be a big step closer to pulling itself out of insolvency. The Wall Street Journal reported that Eastman Kodak is close to that vital deal for the sale of its digital imaging patents. Kodak won't get anything close to what it once believed its patent portfolio to be worth, but the paper quotes sources who say the amount will be more than $500 million. That would be enough to qualify Kodak for the $830 million in loans it needs to restructure and pull out of bankruptcy. Kodak announced that deal November 29th with a group of creditors, contingent in part on selling the patents for at least $500 million. The Journal says a consortium of bidders made the offer to Kodak, and it includes some Silicon Valley high-tech companies. None are named, but companies including Microsoft, Apple, and Motorola have all shown interest in the past, in part because the patents cover the way most cell phones process and store digital photos, so cell phone companies have all been interested. Kodak declined to comment. The company got a court order on Wednesday allowing it to file certain of the documents for its financing deal under seal, meaning they won't be made public. While there has been no official confirmation, Brighton Securities President George Conboy, one of the leading Kodak watchers, tweeted, "Word on the street says deal good as done, price $525 million. Next steps, sale of imaging biz, then pay UK pensions." Setting its pension liabilities for retirees in the United Kingdom is another of the major conditions that Kodak agreed to meet in order to get this refinancing deal. Rochester Mayor Tom Richards says 2 local property management companies have formed a partnership to redevelop the Midtown Tower. Larry Glazer of Buckingham Properties and Bob Morgan of Morgan Management will take on the $55 million project, creating more than 160 rental housing units and 3 to 5 stories of commercial space in the tower. Mayor Richards made his announcement at the Rochester Downtown Development Corporation's annual Vision Future Luncheon. He said, "We are not the same city we were 30, 20, or even 5 years ago, and we're not going back." Original plans for redeveloping the tower as part of the Midtown Rising project called for luxury condos on the site. Larry Glazer, who has been managing and developing property in Rochester since 1970, said analysis showed that plan wouldn't work very well. A mix of apartments and commercial use would be better. The tower redevelopment is supposed to be completed in 2014. A lot of work is going on that site. The new Windstream office building is currently under construction at the former site of Midtown Plaza. And you're seeing their concrete work underway this week on what will eventually become a public park and the new road above the underground Midtown garage. Second-degree assault charges have been filed against the driver of the pickup truck that crashed in Ontario County last week, sending 7 teenagers to area hospitals. The Ontario County Sheriff's Department filed charges against 19-year-old Alexander Brown. They say he was driving the truck when it hit a sharp curve in the town of Bloomfield at too high a speed, rolled over repeatedly, and that tossed several of the passengers out. 2 remain hospitalized this week. Brown was arraigned in East Bloomfield Town Court and released on bail, pending a preliminary hearing. 2 meetings Thursday evening will give parents a chance to weigh in on changes planned for the Webster and for the Rochester City School Districts. First off, Webster Central's school board is expected to vote tonight on whether to go ahead with full-time kindergarten next fall. About 80% of those surveyed in a district-wide poll favored the idea, and it got support at a public hearing 2 weeks ago. You can see the proposal on the district website. The meeting is at 7 at Spry Auditorium. Work session begins at 5. In the city, the Rochester Board of Education holds a public comment session at 6:30 p.m. at district headquarters on the facilities master plan. That's the one closing 5 school buildings that are deemed too old to renovate and consolidating programs to meet declining student enrollment. After the public comments, Superintendent Bohan Vargas will take questions about the plan from the public. Rochester police believe a pit bull found in a crate near a West Side Railroad track this week may have been a victim of dogfighting. Lollipop Farm is caring for the injured 1.5-year-old female dog, and the Humane Society is investigating how she came to be abandoned by the intersection of Silver and Madison Streets near the CSX railroad tracks. The dog was found Tuesday locked in a crate that may have been tossed from a moving car. The dog was malnourished, bloody, and she had puncture wounds all over her body consistent with dog fighting. She is expected to make a full recovery. Investigators pulled fingerprints off the crate. They're asking anyone who knows anything about this dog to call the Humane Society. And 3 men were arrested Wednesday after holding up the Dunkin' Donuts store on East Ridge Road at gunpoint. The Rochester Police Department says a passerby saw what was going on and called 911. The suspects were nabbed as they ran to their waiting getaway car. All 3 are charged with robbery, criminal possession of a weapon, grand larceny, and criminal use of a firearm. And police identified them as 19-year-old Jordan Boards, 20-year-old Eric Bailey, and 22-year-old Sherrod Dixon. Nobody was hurt in the robbery. To the left of this player window, links to these and other stories. At the bottom of the page, links that you can use to post us news items and things that you know or think we should know about. We also are a community news resource, so we want to see your wedding and birth announcements, your business openings, all that sort of thing. Post them to us and you'll see them up here on the Daily. Next news is as it happens, updates when necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.